work gloves, gardening gloves, arm gloves, truck stop. I got a lot of stuff from a truck stop. These, well, 3 of these. These were only $12 from Make the Call, Save Lives. And on the other side is this human trafficking, Truckers Against Traffickers. And when I came to Texas, I actually saw on the back of a bathroom stall a human trafficking sign on the back of a stall. And when I was staying in Little Elm, there were a lot of Amber Alerts for missing kids that were like 2 and 3 years old. I mean, that's really, really young to be missing. And it's kind of scary to get that in the middle of the night. So that makes sense that I see this with truckers. And here's my Sony radio. I got another one too on Amazon, a transistor radio. But it has this antenna. And the other one, it looks just like it, but it's not Sony, but it pretty much works the same. But I like the Sony one a little bit better. But it was inexpensive too. It was maybe, I don't know, $14 or something like that. But it's nice to have things like that when the power goes out, because it really has gone out a lot in San Diego. We had a horrific power outage for about two days, and it's like I go crazy when I can't hear something that long or don't have a fan. But it was like, I think, a 4-state power outage at the time. This was several years ago. But as things have happened to me, I've kind of bought things that I definitely missed when the power went out. And it's gone out a lot in Santa Fe too, and in the house that I was staying in, that I actually bought and rented. But the electric wasn't that great. I mean, it was really pretty much like the fuse box needed to be replaced, and changed all the new wires in the house. And I actually did lose lights in the bathroom, not in the bathroom, but in the kitchen over the sink. That light went out and never worked again. And it's just things like that I noticed were going wrong with the house that needed replacing. But when things go out, then I've got this Goal Zero, and this one, and both of them, this one's my newest one. You can set your iPhone on it and it starts to charge, and you can actually plug something into here. And it's got 2 USBs right there, and then it tells exactly how much power. Now this one's empty, but these two definitely work together. And this one was my first one that I bought, and I have a solar panel that does work with it, and so I can plug it into there. Although there isn't a line that goes to this one, so I have to see what line I can buy for it. But you can, the old one, they sent me a new one for free. It was the oldest version, and then they sent me this new one when they made it. That was when they first came out. But this one is the newest one, and you can plug it into the car or recharge it by USB by the car. Also buy this extension cord that I got at the truck stop here too. And it wasn't very expensive either. It was maybe, I don't know, $35, $40, something like that. But it's got, let's see, it's got USB and DC charging. The company is Power Drive. And you can plug USB items in it. and charge DC too. And I did buy a coffee pot. My mother sent me a gift card, and I got it, but well, it was sort of hard to use it in the car. At the time, I had a Jeep Patriot, and it had the same sort of issues with the computer that this one sometimes does, but this one was because of the oil, and they fixed it. When the oil goes out, this Dodge City ProMaster tends to start acting really strange, and I took it to the dealer, and they diagnosed it as the oil being low. So that's something that needs to go in under recall. And but anyway, the phone can be charged by the solar panel, and I do have a solar panel, so you can just plug this phone into the solar panel and it'll start to work. Or when I first moved to Santa Fe, there was no power in my house for 1 month. 1 month before they could turn it on. That is a long time to not turn on your phone or your anything. And I use stuff like this. I have another one. Let's see. This power bank somewhere in here. There's a lot of stuff in here, but there's a power bank that I have right here, and I had another one like it. This is probably my 4th one, and I've used those for years, but this one my mom had, and she never uses it. But anyway, I had a whole bunch of these at home, and it worked exactly the same way, but I charged this one up by the solar panel and used it in my house to charge my phone, because there was nothing for a month, and I had to use an ice box before they would even turn it on. And I even called them and told them I was on disability, and I've got to take a bath because it's just, my muscles just hurt too much to have the water off. But anyway, this is what I charged everything with when I first moved to Santa Fe. That was several years ago. But that's kind of things that happen when you have electricity and you're used to it. And you don't want to be not used to it. I mean, especially when you aren't going to have a phone. But anyway, I've got plenty of warm stuff in here, and I'm definitely surviving living in my van, which is crazy crowded, with all these flashlights. And I got this one for like 99 cents at Tractor's. No, wait, where did I get this? This was Harbor Freight for like 99 cents. That's nothing. And it has a low and a strobe light. These were like 2-pack for $2.29. That's cheap. And REI. And then I need to get another thing to cover the front, because that just is a pain. And little glass jars. I lost a lot of mason jars in my breakup, and I had some really beautiful ones. Blue ball jars, green ones. I was canning in the house. I made some ghee. If you go look at Alaskan Prepper, he shows how to make ghee canning, and I made his ghee, and it really did a good job. And I never even I had a dishwasher and I had them washed, but I didn't sterilize. But once I poured the ghee in there, the whole lid actually stuck down on its own, and sealed the whole thing shut without me even having to dip them in water. So that was kind of cool. Just the heat alone sealed them. So that can happen too. You just have to make sure it's really clean, because it'll start to mold and then go bad. So you always have to have them sterilized. You should put them in the dishwasher, or give them a bath in hot water. And then this, well, Nalgene makes these. They sell them at REI in different colors. And I bought this I just happened to see it next door to my mom's at Dollar General. So I bought that for a couple of bucks, which at REI they're like maybe $18. It's not as thick, but it is definitely as nice, almost. It's good enough when you don't have an REI that's close by. And these I even got at, now I had a whole bunch of these in Converse. Converse had white and blue and green that I had had forever, and some I had gotten at the swap meet in San Diego, and I lost a whole bag of shoes to this breakup. I just had to leave them. I mean, when you've got to leave, you can only get what you got in the car, and I lost probably 16 pairs or 12 pairs, something that's around like that. And these aren't cheap. I mean, you know, when you're talking like $60 a pair to $100 a pair, it's a lot to lose. And I also lost all my furniture that I'd had for years. My things that me and my mother bought together, things that I bought by myself, and then I left more furniture at my mom's again. Left my Pride scooter. Because I'm on disability, I have really bad muscle problems in my legs, and I mean, just to squeeze things right here, it really hurts. And that's myofascial pain syndrome, is when it involves nerve entrapment. Even, I mean, it can be severe to where you can have a lot of nerve pain, and I've had nerve pain so bad that I couldn't even turn my head to the left to look out the window, so I didn't drive for quite a while. So when this happened, and I put her stuff out, I mean, I literally just walked it out and put it out in the front yard, and I told her to just come get it, that this is over, and I just don't want to be in this anymore. It's like you have verbally and mentally abused me for years, Elizabeth Fry, and your whole family. I have contacted you. I've sent you letters. I've sent Jerry letters, and he works for Social Security. Works there. Like he is going to retire, and shame on all her family that they would just never call me back or email me back and steal everything from me. I mean, I put all her stuff out and went through every cabinet and found every single thing of hers and put it out for her and told her to just go and get it. And then, well, she came and got it. Where's my dog? She came and got it. Oh, and she took my dog at first. Well, she took all my dogs. And she didn't tell me that Dylan died. And I couldn't believe it, but she took her. And I told her she better bring it back. She didn't bring back. She only brought back her. And but she's who I picked out to be my service dog. And I mean, you just don't know what it's like to lose your whole life. I mean, this is nothing compared to the things I've had. I've had to rebuy a whole bunch of stuff. When I've had different scooters, motorcycles, Vespas, Piaggios, vintage Hondas. I've had several ocean kayaks. I used to have a trailer like that one. I had 2 Jeep Wranglers, 2 Jeep Patriots, a Montero with brush guards. I hauled her out of there. I hauled her. Her car broke down. She had a Ford. And it broke down in Arizona. And it was my car, my Montero, that hauled her out of there with my car. from U-Haul. I had to rent something and haul her to San Diego. So it's like she wouldn't even be moving to California if it wasn't for me. She would still be home in her mommy's house in her twin sunken down twin bed, living with her mom. And she was engaged to be married, and she met me, her first girlfriend. And then I've heard that she's wanting to talk about me like I've done something wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. I should have thrown her out a long time ago because I told her to come back and get all your stuff. And I had 2 cute jackets that were like horse, they were from a horse company for her and for Maddie, and I left them there. And I've had different versions of this for my Italian greyhounds, and I like this one. I hope and I'll try and list links and things from Voyager's Canine Apparel. I'll try and list all the links of places I've bought things or bought things back. But you know, I showed horses when I was younger, and I had a blanket for my horse like this, and she used to tear the blanket in the stall, and I'd take it home and sew it up because I definitely know how to sew. I've known how to sew since I was a kid, and sew up her blanket and wash it and dry it and take it and put it back on her, my horse Lacey. And Lacey was pretty spooky. She was a super spooky horse. She's a spooky dog too. She looks pretty calm now, but she's not exactly when she sees other people. She's sort of like me. She's sort of shy and uneasy around people. And I'm sort of that way too. I have agoraphobia, and that definitely makes me not able to stand out there. Like, I just can't stand out there and talk to somebody. I'll feel uneasy, and I'll want to leave, or I'll want to sit down. I've actually gone to court and suggested an interpreter, and they've provided me one. And I have a note from a doctor, from a psychiatrist, that I'm not supposed to go to court. You know how you go to court for jury duty. Well, that was what it was for. I was actually sent something to go to jury duty, and I submitted that to the court, and I didn't have to go. Now I've got a court date for something I'm not sure if I should say right now, but anyway, on the 18th, and I'm just going to push it back, and I'm going to send them this letter. I have to dig through everything back here, and I'm pretty sure I have it. But I've shown these to police officers before, and they just don't even know what agoraphobia is. But agoraphobia means I probably don't want to go very far from this car or from my house, unless I have a dog. And I've had dogs my whole life. And then I feel more comfortable. But it's like, if you see me, I'll probably be like, yes, I gotta go. And then I'll just keep walking, because I had a pet sitting service, and that's why I started it, because I'm just better with pets, and I enjoy being around them, and it was a good living for me. And I used to walk in the hills like that all the time. And I had a lot of really good clients that I knew. And the more you walk around, the more you meet other people. And I ended up taking care of like 4 labs at a time, walking hills like that in Los Angeles, in West Hollywood, in Laurel Canyon, that area. And I sort of made that my home base. And that was when I had my Australian Shepherd Haley. And I'd take her with me pet sitting. And she was just always with me, and she actually stayed at clients' houses and sat there and moped the whole time that I was gone. And then I got into greyhounds, and I got into Italian greyhounds first. And then when they were gone, I ended up adopting 2 of these. And I had another one called Maddie. and I called her Maddie Cakes. And I can upload that film. That's super cute of her. But these guys are just really good dogs, especially for people with disabilities. They're super calm, great for people with chronic pain, and they're not overwhelming. You know, they really, she loves to be in the car, and she'll just jump right in. But, you know, they're made to be thin, and a lot of people realize this, but some people think they're too thin. Like, she is so not too thin. Like, she just will freeze her little butt off. But see, she's, you know, this, when they're bony, though, like, that's not bony. Like, I've seen skin and bones in these dogs. And this is how they're supposed to look. Like, she can just eat and never gain a pound. Like, wasn't my, like, look at that. She can continue eating, and she just doesn't gain any weight. Like, she eats my yogurt, she eats everything. But I mean, she looks, if you look under here, these dogs are just skinny. That's just how they are. It just is. It just is. And she won't even eat, like, I feed her raw food. I fed her whole chicken, an organic chicken, and she left a lot of it, and I just saved it for the morning time. But I feed her raw, and it keeps her teeth clean, and they're pretty good. I need to keep feeding her more raw food. But she's about 6 or 7 years old now, and she's just a sweetheart. Anyway, this is the Hudson Valley, and this is, I don't know, my first week here. And isn't it gorgeous? Hudson Valley, New York. And I visited the Catskills and campgrounds, and that was interesting too. All the history here. It's stuff that I've never seen before. I've never been this much on the East Coast except for Florida. And that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna give her dinner, and she keeps drinking my Mountain Dew, and she'll just drink my coffee too. This is a cute canine villagers. And this is the cute rough wear that I've got for her. It has this cute handle. That's your cute little brindle pet. She's kind of like a horse. I mean, she's really tall, but not super tall for a greyhound. She's actually kind of small. Like Maddie had a way bigger face than this. But anyways, she's super cute, but she gets super cold and shaky like I do. She's like, please just bundle me up and make sure I'm warm. Like, they have this cute thing. This is called a snood. And when she's really super cold, well, I just cut the sleeves off of a sweatshirt and put it over her head, and then she has a snood, and I don't have to buy one. Like, it's the same thing with the Celery, sort of this scarf thing, and I just put it around her neck, and it keeps her warm too. But I've tried to buy her boots even that they sell at REI. That's rough wear, and they've been out of them so far. But they're like little hiking boots. But now my concern is ticks and fleas, and I've got diatomaceous syrup that I'm gonna spread on her and squirt it in the car, and you can actually rub it into the carpet, and it kills fleas, and it'll kill roaches and different bugs. And I've put that in my house under the baseboard, right around the baseboards, and I never saw any bugs in my house anymore. And I also feed it to her, and I got rid of hookworms that way by feeding her diatomaceous earth, 1 teaspoon in CBD oil, and her and Maddie both were hookworm free, which is super rare. I mean, she was taking a lot of the stuff that vets give them for hookworm. So I've been through that, and I've been through heartworm with another dog that I had, an Italian Greyhound, and it's a lot of work. You have to keep him really calm, and I also had another Italian Greyhound broke his leg, and that was another struggle trying to keep him in his crate. And I had to sell a scooter that I had, a Piaggio scooter that was $5,000 just to fix his leg. And but it sold really fast, and I was able to pay it off. But when they break their leg, it's months. It is months of going back and having it rewrapped and rewrapped and rewrapped and set to where it's healed. And it's not easy to do, because Italian Greyhounds can really break their legs much easier than these guys do. But when they break and brace them, it's pretty much over. Their racing days for sure are over. I saw them at a Greyhound center, and they had them propped up in these cute little crates that were pretty big. I mean, almost the size of the back of this van for these sweet dogs. And I almost adopted one then, but I ended up waiting until I got a house with a yard. But they are super great dogs and super sweet. Especially in this brindle color, which is one of my favorites. They come in fawn and black. And she's like, this is her camera color. She's in camouflage. Enjoy this nice night. It is super nice out here.